He loves his soup. I've never met somebody that likes soup more than Coach. And I mean, to win 700 games at 29 years old, I mean, that's an accomplishment, huh?
It was a good week for the Green Bay women's basketball team, picking up 2 huge Horizon League victories. Joining me in studio now to talk about all that is the head coach of the Phoenix, Kevin Borseth. Soup. That's what we found out this week. He loves soup.
Settlement Soup, that's right. The Settlement Bar, I go see Chuck. If you want crackers, the best place to go to, best soup in town.
There you go. There's a free advertisement. And you reached the 700 win milestone. I guess that was secondary to the soup news. What does that mean? It puts you in an exclusive group. What does that mean to you, that number?
Well, I think I told someone else that asked me, and I said the days go by slow and the years go by fast. It's kind of a blur. You don't really think about it for the most part. And it kind of really caught me by surprise afterwards because I really didn't know. But it's just a number. Because at this point right now, we feel like we're chasing our tail day to day, just trying to get things done, you know, and it just kind of compiles after a while. But I've been around for a while, so I guess I'm a little old.
And as you always say, you may make it look easy, but winning at this level, never easy. And it's especially not easy coming into a season like this. You had to replace 2 special players, and Allie LeClaire and Jessica Lindstrom. That was going to be tough enough already. And then came the next challenge. You had junior Caitlin Hibner, who was lost for the year before the season. Leading returning scorer right there, Carly Murphy, blows out her knee on the first play of the season. I mean, how do you even explain? And current leading scorer, Frankie Wirtz, she's now out indefinitely with a foot injury. Have you ever been a part of anything like this where bang, bang, bang? I mean, you had to overcome these injuries like this?
No, I really haven't. No, it's kind of interesting because I remember in my coaching career first, I had a friend of mine at Michigan Tech who lost a bunch of players on some very strange injuries, you know, and I thought to myself, well, lucky we are that we don't have those things happen to us. Every now and then we get kids that go down, but to have 3 go down in 1 year and 3 returning players, obviously, is, yeah, it's an impact, obviously, but fortunately for us right now, we've got some kids that are able to step up and play, and they're doing a good job for us.
So obviously when that happens, there's a natural adjustment period. You had Wirtz kind of step up. She was filling the scoring void, and then she goes down. So how tough is that when maybe you thought you found something, a spark, and then she goes down, now you have to kind of start over again and really find some more people stepping up.
Yeah, I feel bad for Frankie probably more than anything because she's really, you know, how many kids have come in with the career that she built in high school and to come in and actually sit for 2 years and not play a great deal, maybe in a reserve capacity, just waiting and waiting. And, you know, she comes from the Wirtz family, a great bloodline of people that just compete in the family and have been so successful. And then get her opportunity finally, and then to have this happen to her right now, I kind of feel bad for her. But the good news is she'll be back on the court soon. We're looking sooner than we could possibly get her out. But, yeah, she was the kid that we were really counting on this year. When she went down, it was kind of a different story for us.
Well, we wish her well and hope she returns to the floor soon. And you kind of set the stage there. You talked about other kids needing to step up and enter in this week. You knew you had a big pair of Horizon League games on Tuesday. You took on a Cleveland State team that certainly posed a very tough defensive challenge. They did force 18 turnovers. What is the key against a team like that? Because like you said after the game, they play kind of that Jim Boeheim, I should say, Syracuse zone, and with inexperienced players, they kind of have to get the feel for it when they're out there.
I think the biggest thing is I think Jen Wellnitz and Lakin James really at that point when Frankie went down really started to take the team over, and they have to do that. I think all the seniors that we've had have done that before. And, of course, you really don't know until you get into a game what things are going to look like. You can prepare for them, but I think in the course of that game, those two really figured things out for us, pulled us through at the end. So that was a big win.
In the first half, you saw some girls, Pingle, Oski, stepping up, hitting some big shots to kind of turn the tide. And then, like you said, in the second half, the seniors took over when the seniors needed to take over. How do you win a game when you turn the ball over 18 times while you turn the other team over 20, right?
Yeah, we don't really want to turn over that many, obviously, but yeah, you're exactly right.
All right, and then to Youngstown on Saturday. I know you had a high opinion of the Penguins coming in to this season. Both you guys were tied entering this game behind Wright State. Both squads with just 1 loss, but there you go. I mean, you started the game on a 23-6 run. You really couldn't drop a better start against the team that's really, really good.
You know, we played them last year in the conference tournament, and they were ahead of us 13-2, and I'm looking at myself, okay, they pretty much got the same squad back, plus they had 2 of their best players that were out last year. Now we got to go back with an inexperienced squad, start the game. I think that was our biggest thing that we talked about ahead of time is we need to start fast. And I'll tell you what, our kids came out guns loaded, really going after them hard, and we got a good lead, and it kind of stuck on for the whole game.
And you already mentioned Wellnitz and James, but they combined for 34 of your 60 points in a 60-42 win. Especially Lakin, she seems like the kind of person who's also kind of had to wait her turn quite a bit, and she had a nice, she's a three-sport athlete in high school at Oconto, and she's really going to get everything out of her talent, isn't she? She's a high-effort player.
Yeah, I don't, Lakin was kind of a kid that really always in the back burner. We kind of she went from one spot to another spot. We never really put her in a position where she was allowed to really shine, and I think now she feels it. I mean, she feels like it's hers. Her and Jen feel like it's their team, and it is. And really stepping up, doing a really great job for us. It's happy to see that thing come full circle for her.
Well, we talked about some bad injury news so far, so let's talk about a good, feel-good comeback story. Algoma's own Anna DIER made her way back to the court recently after a third ACL tear. One in high school. She's had two with you guys. I mean, just talk about bad luck, 1 in a million kind of thing to happen. After seeing how much she went through, I know I kind of sat down with you guys, it was early last year to talk about when she wasn't even sure if she was going to come back. To see her back out there playing, giving you some minutes.
Yeah, she did. She came back, was at the, right before the Parkside game. I can't remember which game it was, but all of a sudden there's a standing ovation. And I don't do a lot of the substituting. Sometimes my assistants take care of the substituting. All of a sudden there's a big standing ovation going on. I figure, what's going on? And here comes Anna onto the court. But really a hard-working kid. If you've never been around her, she's one of the neatest people you've ever met in your entire lifetime. Is a great student, going to be a good teacher someday. Great kid, hard worker, and couldn't be happier she got the opportunity to come back on the court and compete.
One thing that's hard to miss when you watch this year's team is the improvement of the Wolf sisters out of Sheboygan North High School. Now, Maddie and Mackenzie, they seem to have gotten themselves into a place where they're so talented and so equal that you can always have one on the floor, which is nice. It's like you don't have to take one of the twins out, right? You always got one in.
You don't realize, but that size is a huge advantage. I'm telling you right now, whether they're blocking shots, getting rebounds, or scoring around the hoop, I think those two, again, have been in a reserve capacity. And, of course, when Murph went out, now those two are in a prime capacity. And so we always get something out of both of them, obviously. Maddie had a double-double against Youngstown yesterday. I don't remember if it was the Maine game, but she had, I think, 14 rebounds against Maine equally as well. And, they're very hardworking kids, very quiet. If I could do anything with those two kids to get them to communicate a little bit more sometimes, it'd be great. But, boy, I tell you what, they're dedicated to basketball, love their teammates, work extremely hard. We're lucky to have them.
Yeah, it's like if you put their numbers together, they average a double-double for the season. So it's kind of like those analytics baseball guys. If you have a platoon in a position,
I like it.
Right? You put the numbers together, it's one person, right?
I like it.
All right, well, you got a couple of games coming up on the road, right? So what's the key to kind of keep this thing rolling?
Well, we don't go Friday now. We got a Friday-Sunday series down in Detroit. I don't remember who we play first, Oakland or University of Detroit Mercy. I'm not exactly sure, but it's good sometimes to go on the road and travel, and the fact that we're not in school yet makes it a little bit easier. So it's not like we're missing any classes or anything of that nature. And sometimes when you go on the road, you get a little bit better chance to concentrate on basketball. It's Sherry Norgard thing. She said you concentrate on basketball when you're on a low and a little bit of rest. So it's should be good. Should be a good trip for us. We just got to stay healthy, get ourselves ready to go, and kind of get to the middle of the year. It goes by fast, the year does. You don't realize, but 2 games every week, and before you know it, a season's over with, and before you know it, 30 seasons are over with. So right now, we're just kind of relishing the season that we have it right now, and a big trip this weekend coming up.
All right, he is the head coach of the Green Bay women's basketball team. They're going, Kevin Borseth, they're going for their 21st regular season title in a row. Kevin, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
All right, when we